What is up, everyone? Just wanted to make a video of kind of making a bed platform for my Tacoma. So as you guys might have seen, I have this platform, wood platform basically for my topper, because as you kind of see, it does not reach the bed since it wasn't originally made for this truck. Took it up to the UP, Michigan's UP, camped out of it for a couple days, and I just didn't have enough storage. I mean, I had plenty of room, but if I wanted to camp with anyone other than myself, it would be a pain. Basically, like any dogs, my girlfriend, it'd basically just be a big pain, and we'd have to keep moving stuff around, and the whole point is to kind of enjoy while we're out there. I don't want to have to stress about how we're going to Jenga everything inside the truck. So I decided to go with the cheap route as of right now, which is actually the really cheap route, because I got this birch plywood off of Facebook Marketplace for about $6 a pop. They're 18 by 60, and I'm cutting them to about 57.5 inch long, and I'm going to double them up since they're 1/2 inch plywood. But yeah, let me kind of show you guys, and I'll kind of talk while I'm showing you guys. Alrighty, so this is 1/2 inch, I think it's 9 ply, if I remember correctly. But 1/2 inch birch plywood, and I'm going to double it up. Oh my gosh, get my camera not focused. There you go. But I'm basically going to double it up kind of like this. This is just, basically I measured one board and it fit, so I'm cutting it based off of that, off the one board. So they're all kind of similar. They're not perfect cut. They have some the imperfections on them, which I'm not too concerned. I'll be honest, this is basically to tell me if I would like a drawer system, or if I would like something like this with the drawer system under, kind of how I want to do it. End goal is to throw a battery in here, and I figure out how I like it. Otherwise, I can't plan for how I'd have my battery. So some people have the battery in the actual pickup truck. Some people put their battery in the engine bay, which I really want to do, just to get more space under here. And this is kind of why I'm trying out this platform, as it can kind of be used both ways. I can take the platform completely out if I really want to, but I'm basically gonna wood glue and put some, these are 3/4 inch, so it's gonna be an inch thick. And so basically kind of just keep it sturdy, and then I'm gonna use this like marine indoor outdoor rug kind of style stuff that I've used for this and my dog platform I made for inside the truck. But basically cover each panel, so each 2 sets of panels with this, while it's also glued and bolted. So then I have a 1 inch thick plywood panel, and then I got 10 pieces of this, because I'm going to need 4 pieces technically, I think, to make an inch here. But I had other plans with this when I got 10. I was planning on using 8 for the truck bed, and then the other 2 were going to be for some kind of like kitchen setup, where I could just easily have something that fits under this, that I can store my spices, my oil, my olive oil and whatnot, and basically have like a little kitchen setup. And that way it's not just in a bin, because that's kind of how I did it first trip, and I kind of want to get away from just having everything in a bin. At least if I do, I want it to be organized and kind of say what it is. But long-winded rant there, but basically I'm just cutting these about 57.5. My only problem if I cut them too long is I can't get them in there, so I have to cut them a little short so they slide both ways. But I'm hoping once I install this on it and wrap it, I will be able to fit there without much movement. If there's a little, there's a little. We're not going to be moving too crazy around here. The most is going to be the dogs jumping in and out. Alrighty, so right now I am putting glue down, and then I'm going to bolt them with these 3/4 inch wood screws, and just get them kind of basically not move around is the goal, and use the screws as a clamp, and also as basically making sure they don't move around as well. Now that I got all these glued up, I am basically putting these down. This side's going to be up, the bottom side's going to be actually up in the truck bed, and it's going to have this on top just to give it friction resistance. basically cutting it to size how much overhang I actually want, and then I'm using this little Husky staple gun, kind of heavy duty staple gun. Staple it on, but I'm basically just cutting any crazy excess here on both sides. One sheet got me enough for 3 of these, but yeah. Alrighty, so what I'm doing for these corners, I'm just cutting it like this, and I kind of, sorry about that, I fold it, I'll staple one side, and then I'll go to the other, and I'll basically shove the board forward while also pulling this part on that side back to try and get as much slack out of it. It's not going to get as a crazy amount, but it's going to be better if I don't do it, because if I don't do it, it's going to end up like kind of my dog bed one, which I did try to get some slack out, but I wasn't too motivated to get it out, and it had a decent amount of slack. Just extra mesh, but you know, I kind of show you guys the finished product. Alrighty, so I'm on to the last piece, the last platform, and it's gonna go right here. It's gonna kind of overhang here. I'm about 5'9", and we're gonna have dogs, so kind of want to get as much room as we can here. It's gonna end up like right about here, and then I have this piece of plywood that I comboed and bolted on both sides. I'm gonna use as a middle beam to kind of give more support, because it's gonna be a little over 400 pounds with us two and both our dogs. So I want to make sure everything's supported, and then I also kind of makeshift this off of spare lumber to basically sit right here. This doesn't go all the way through, they're only 60-inch long, so, and I, to be honest, I'm just going to cheap out and not go to the store and get more, because it's too expensive. But we'll kind of play it like this. Hopefully this does it. Hopefully that middle board doesn't crack at all. The only problem is it's going to be the first thing we use when we get up into here, which might suck. So it's going to need a little extra reinforcements. So I might have to kind of come up with something else and see. I was hoping to use I was hoping to use the last 2 pieces, but then I needed this middle support. And I was hoping to use this last piece to make a little kind of box for my kitchen stuff, like I said before. But I might have to make it where this is double a whole way and give me a little more support there. I was really hoping this could do it, but we'll see once I get the 2 pieces of plywood cut. I already got the one basically cut out, and then I'm just traced it over top. So we'll see how that goes. This is what it looks like, guys. Don't mind this piece off to the right. That's nothing, it's just spare. This is my support down the middle, kinda-ish. This is just a support here to give it a little more coverage, since like about starting here, you're not using that side rail, so you lose some support there. But yeah, with that middle beam, you don't even need anything across like this. The only reason I need something here is because you lose support, and I didn't have a piece long enough to go all the way out. So that kind of was a bummer. But if you adjust that middle support with this, you'd be fine. But yeah, right now, just trying to keep it simple. Just trying to get out and go and do stuff as much as possible before I kind of do any big purchases. I really just want to go out and camp. We haven't all used it together yet, which would kind of be the next thing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, what you do different. Obviously, I mean, I would do a couple of things different if I felt like going and getting more wood, or just like 2x8s. You could use a 2x8 for that middle support all the way down with it perpendicular to the platform. But I just had the materials, and the materials were already cheap. Rather than going to spending 30 or 40 bucks on a 2x4, I'll just use the 1/2-inch plywood and it'll be all right. But let me know what you guys think. I'll kind of give a little once over at the end here, and yeah, like and subscribe if you want to see any more. Alrighty, so this is basically just a rundown of everything. It's a couple days later. I forgot I never filmed this, so I'm gonna kind of give you guys a little rundown. So all these, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets here. and they all pop up. Kind of, you just gotta push this up, it pops up, it'll slide back like that, and then you can remove this. This is what I was talking about earlier. I put screws here, and then I put some on this side as well, just to reinforce, just to keep this part from bending, because obviously if this part bends, you lose some stability here. But yeah, and then basically you can push it all the way back, and then you can stack it up on one stack. You can do 2 stacks, 3 stacks, and push this one all the way back to get some opening here if you really wanted. And then the nice thing about this is it gets removable. It's not mounted on these at all. So basically I could take this out once I put a stack of 2. Once I stack them up back, I could take this out completely, just lay it on the ground, not have to deal with this down the middle, which is really nice. But yeah, basically this is, I think it cost me $80 to kind of make this. You could probably make it cheaper. You could just do straight wood. You could do really cheap plywood. I just wanted the extra strength since we'd be sleeping on this and whatnot. And we'd have the dogs was kind of the main thing, is why I doubled up. I'm sure you could probably do 3/4 inch all the way through without, and then just have this middle support and be fine, which might help you with some cost depending on where you find your lumber at. But yeah, this is it, and I'll let you guys know how it holds up the next couple months when we use it and whatnot. But yeah, thanks for watching.